So guys, this is one of my most asked questions from business owners to freelancers to social media agencies and even creators, and it all comes down to how to price your service offering correctly. Now, I like to call this the service recipe. Now, your service recipe is basically just your service offering, but let's be honest, all your different services, they all come together in the same way that you can make a lasagna. So let's get into it. You guys, we are in the new era, so there is no more working for absolutely nothing. If you find that you're stuck in your old ways where you're working with hundreds of clients, working round the clock, and you've got all these clients but only on low paying retainers, then this one is for you. Guys, I've been there. I've maxed myself out pretty quickly. I've hit a capacity on my earnings, and then this has really negatively impacted how I've been able to scale my agency or any businesses that I've ever worked on, because then this negatively impacts my profit margins. Now, I get it. It's definitely tempting in the beginning to take on as many clients as you want, because the reality is the allure of money is just so tempting, isn't it? But let me tell you, from my experience working with hundreds of low-paying clients or loads of small retainers, these clients have always been a nightmare. In the nicest way possible, if you're watching this, guys. But the reality is these clients always demand more of you. They expect to see quicker results, when in reality they're paying a small retainer and relying on everything to happen from you. So focus on your higher retainers, because these people actually see the value in the service that you provide. So my advice to you is to focus on quality over quantity. Don't get caught up in trying to take loads of different clients on because it's more money. Because at the end of the day, this actually isn't scalable in any scenario. Instead, focus on building relationships with clients that actually see the value in your services. And if you're wanting to build a business model which you can actually scale and provide results for, then by charging more, you're actually going to be able to delegate and outsource because you've charged more to begin with. Not only this, but if you decide to stay independent, then by charging more, you're actually going to have more time to focus on these clients. So not only will you be cash rich, but you'll also be time rich, which means you can come up with the best possible solutions for your clients without chasing your tail, running around for that next paycheck. Now let's move on to the pricing of your service recipe, because let's be honest, that's the reason you're all actually here. So ask yourself these two questions. Number one, how do you personally perceive the value of your service? And number two, how does your potential client or prospect perceive the value of your services too? Now, I've said this many times, but you want to be pricing based on your value. Now you'll see so many companies and so many agencies are now not only charging retainer fees, but a lot of them are actually working on commission basis too. So this means that they're charging a percentage of the sales that they're actually bringing in, because they are pricing based on the value that they provide. Now, this does not mean that you need to work in a specific industry for absolutely donkey's years again before you can start charging a high retainer, because time doesn't equal value. If you know that you can provide good results, or you're confident that you can bring in results because you've done so in the past, then this is where you need to price based on your value. It doesn't come down to time, it just comes down to how you perceive yourself and how others perceive you too. So make sure to tailor the pricing of your service recipe based on your client's goals and also your client's profit margins. There is no point if you've got a client that's, say, making $1,000 to $5,000 a month, and say they've got overheads and you want to charge $1,000 a month. This doesn't tally up. So you want to make sure that the prices that you're trying to charge actually resonate with the target audience that you want to work with. I coach many students that are now making over £10,000 plus per month, and they've only been working within a specific industry for less than 12 months. And this is proof that you don't need to be in a specific industry for years before you can start charging a premium. You just need to make sure that you've got the right systems in place and you can actually deliver results for these clients. And that's exactly what my students can now do. The main thing that I'm getting at here, guys, is that you need to be confident in you. When it comes to pricing, you need to be confident in yourself and also confident in the service that you provide. Now, if you're just getting started out, I understand that pricing can be nerve-wracking. It can be nerve-wracking when you're speaking to a client, you come to that pricing conversation and you're like, oh, what do I charge? But remember that you've already come so far to get that client on the call, or whatever situation that you're in. So be confident that you've got to that point, and then when it comes to your pricing, just openly come out and deliver with your results and be confident with the pricing structure that you've chose. And lastly, you need to value your time. I've mentioned cash rich and time rich and them being totally different, but these are totally different things. I've been cash rich, I've been time rich, and I can tell you I'd much rather be time rich than cash rich, because you can actually become cash rich and time rich, guys. You don't need to choose between one or the other. There is no point being cash rich and time poor, especially if you've got a family or you can't actually spend the money that you've made, or you can't invest the money that you've made because you're so time poor. But I get it, when you're starting out any business, you are time poor, because let's be honest, you're building something from the ground up. So I'm not saying that there's a big issue with being time poor, but your end goal is to be cash rich, but also time rich. So guys, thank you so much for watching. I'm sorry that I can't price your service recipe myself, but I hope this genuinely instills a little bit more confidence into you when it comes to pricing your services. Now, if you want to know anything more about pricing your service recipe or even building your offers, then leave a comment below. But anyway, subscribe for more and I'll see you in the next video.